Hey y'all, thanks for watching this video. If this is your first time here, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. I do a bunch of bullet journaling and card making, and today I'm going to be making a card that I planned out. Now I will say, like y'all know, I'm really big on just doing my whole bujo thing and everything. So now that has crossed over into my card making, and I'm going to show you that today. As you see, I'm using some supplies from Altenew to this card, and let's get right into it. So you saw at the beginning that I was using the CardMaker's planner. This is a book that I bought off of Amazon, but this book was made by Pocono Pam from Instagram, and here's her IG, just in case you want to go over there and drop her a follow. And we're going to get right into this card. So here I am. I'm using my Fiskars cutter to cut down some paper that I'm going to use for my die cutting machine. So I'm going to make a little die cut so that I can put my sentiment on it and put it on my card. Now, I will say that I already pre-planned this card. A lot of the times when I make a card, I do not pre-plan. I just get on my desk and do whatever comes to me naturally, and and it works. But I have been finding that with a little bit of pre-planning, I can actually do more and get better effects. And it's just from planning. Like, when you're freestyling it, you might put some paper down, and because you put that paper down, you kind of have to just go with it. When you plan what you want before, you can do more intricate things and layer things in the right way to get the effects that you want. And that's what I learned. Like, this has been a very big learning moment for me as a crafter, because again, pre-planning things and piecing things together, I find it made my card just look better. It made my card more stable, more stable feeling, so that it wasn't just like, putting little pieces of tape wherever I needed it. And the biggest difference I found is that I actually used some background stamps, and and I wanted to play around with adding textures. So those are like small details that I normally don't think about when I'm just flying off the handle and doing things. By pre-planning this, I was like, hey, I have this background stamp, or why don't I use that? And it made the card look just that much better, in my opinion. So yes, while I do think there is a space for freestyling, I think there is definitely space for planning and pre-planning these cards and learning how to, just use a planner for your cards. I would definitely do this again, and I'm probably going to do more of this. It actually helped me use my scraps up. In the last take, you could kind of see the embossing powder on some of the squares. I guess I didn't like pat it down with my anti-static tool as well as I should have. So I went into the background. I didn't show this part, but I went into the background and I tried to use a small paintbrush to knock off some of the embossing powder. It kind of worked, it kind of didn't, but we're just gonna ride with it. We're gonna roll with it. We're gonna use it. These are handmade cards, and I'm doing the techniques that bring me joy. Now I'm peeling off the big, huge flower stamp from my Altenew pack. This is the first time, so as always, when you're using a brand new stamp, you might want to run an eraser over it just so that you can texturize that surface and you'll get a better stamp impression. Um, I did I did like kind of forget to do that stuff when I did this, so I wound up stamping it multiple times so that I could get a nice new flat, or a nice flat stamping impression without getting any bubbles into it. But again, your mileage may vary. I just know that that's a really good technique for making sure that your stamp impressions are even when you put them on the paper, because you would hate to get down there and then like the stamp in and of itself doesn't look very good. But I'm going to stamp this with my Memento ink, and that's because I'm going to do some alcohol ink coloring afterward. And you can see I had to stamp this multiple times, or I had to put the ink pad down on this multiple times just so I can get a good impression. And then again, like, your first impression always counts in life and in stamping. I mashed this down as hard as I could to make sure that it looked really good on my paper. And then we're going to get into my favorite part with any stamping, which is coloring it with alcohol markers. So these are some markers that I picked up in either TJ Maxx or Ross. Matter of fact, it was Ross. And I think this set was just like $20. I don't have a whole lot of Copics, and a lot of the Copics that I bought from Michael's, or a lot of the artist loft that I bought from Michael's, have not made it through the test of time. So I wanted more colors than what I had. It's hard to get Copics nowadays because the prices have gone up for multiple reasons, and I was just like, hey, these markers weren't that bad in price. I'm just pick these up and see what they are. And the good thing about them is with my kids around, they can actually use these and I don't feel too bad. So if you have a set, just go ahead and pick those up. I'm thinking about trying the Ohuhus. Anybody who has tried those, let me know in the comment section if you think those are worthwhile. So anyway, I'm gonna let the music take over and show you how I colored this flower set. Okay, so you see this is what it looks like now that I've colored it all in with my Copic markers. Now I'm going to die cut this in with my spellbinder machine and get this going. Now I always try to run this through twice just to make sure that it cuts. It is horrible trying to line this up a second go round. As you see, like even the first go round, I kind of messed this up and I got a little bit of a white shadow on my die cut. It's whatever. Next time, you know, like this kind of goes back to some people like to color then cut, some people like to cut then color. I go in between, but I guess this go round I probably should have colored then cut. Oh no, I guess I should have cut then color. But yeah, so either way, I'm going to give this a little bit of dimension by setting it up on the back here. So I'm going to put these little rectangular stickies on the back of this so that when I put it on top of the card, it sits in front of the card base. And now it's time to create my sentiment. So I'm going to stamp one sentiment and I'm going to heat emboss the other sentiment. So that's just, for me, that's just going to add a little bit of contrast. For the stamped one, I'm going to use the die that goes with it and cut it out. And I'm just going to regular like scissor cut the heat embossed one. And with that, that is my card. So if you made it this long, please go ahead and subscribe to my page. I'll be back soon with another card or with some more bullet journaling content. Bye, and thanks for watching.